When Russian explorers arrived in Svaneti in the 19th century, they stepped into a world frozen in time. Isolated by the towering Caucasus mountains and cut off for much of the year, it had remained unseen by the outside world. In its valleys stood medieval villages and rugged mountain passes, unchanged for generations. Traditions that had vanished elsewhere still thrived here, and relics secured from invading armies lay preserved. Revealing traces of a past the modern world thought long gone. Among these remnants is Queen Tamar Castle, rising above Mestia and named after the Georgian queen, who ruled in the late 12th and early 13th centuries. The elusive Chamois moves along sheer cliffs, surviving in some of the most difficult terrain in the Caucasus. Not far away, stone towers stand in one of Europe's highest permanent settlements, many built in the Middle Ages and still in use today. Join me and I'll show you the hidden wonders of Svaneti. A region that surprises even those who think they know it well. Tetnuldi is a top destination for advanced skiers, boasting black and red runs, off-piste challenges, and extremely long slopes. Before resort development, only a handful of experienced mountaineers and skiers visited the slopes due to remoteness and tough conditions. The area has a reliable, deep, and consistent snowfall, lasting late into spring, making it especially ideal for backcountry fans. Local legend personifies Tetnuldi as a petrified bride eternally gazing at her love. Mount Ushba. Reflecting a romantic folklore tale about two mountains symbolising separated lovers. It was first climbed in 1896 by English mountaineer Douglas Freshfield, although the north face saw its first ascent much later in 2011. Located near Mount Tetnuldi, the Tetnuldi ski resort is dedicated to advanced skiers, served by 5 modern lifts and 9 pistes. Built in 2014 and having lifts since 2016, it is one of the freshest ski resort developments in the region. It is famous for the ability to ski from the mountain down directly to local village guest houses, sometimes even passing livestock en route. The Adishi Glacier descends from Mount Tetnuldi into the valley of the same name, providing water to the Adishi River. It is higher than many valley glaciers worldwide, as its glacier tongue drops to about 7,540 feet. The glacier features a massive icefall, about 3,300 to 4,300 feet in height, characterised by wide ice cracks and sea racks. Over recent decades, the glacier has shortened by approximately half a mile and undergone thinning, a phenomenon observed in many glaciers worldwide. Rivers fed by the glacier melt are lowest early morning, which is the best time for safe crossings. The remote village of Adishi is located beneath Mount Tetnuldi at an altitude of about 6,690 feet. It is known to preserve some of the oldest examples of Georgian polyphonic singing and traditional hospitality, with locals still practicing age-old customs. The village once comprised 5 communities, but 4 were destroyed by natural disasters such as landslides, leaving only Adishi surviving with many ruins nearby. Today, there are around 13 stone towers left standing among the old churches and residential buildings, which were vital for protection against invaders and avalanches. The village is also still largely inaccessible by public transport, as the final stretch requires a rugged off-road vehicle or hiking. Its local population is very small, and many families leave before winter due to a lack of modern amenities like schools and roads being often blocked by snow. Mestia is the central hub of the Svaneti region, located at about 4,900 feet in the Greater Caucasus Mountains. It serves as a gateway to several ski resorts, including Hatsvali and Tetnuldi, popular for winter sports with terrain suited for various skill levels. The town also hosts the Svaneti Museum of History and Ethnography, founded in 1936, showcasing local artefacts such as medieval manuscripts, icons, war equipment, ancient coins, and traditional jewellery. Mestia is also renowned for its numerous medieval stone Svan towers, which are defensive tower houses unique to this area. They mainly date from the 9th to 12th centuries, during which most families built them from stone. Additionally, they were also used for storing food and livestock, essentially serving as all-purpose homes. The Lamproba festival is a traditional Svan fire festival held annually in February, marking the end of winter and the triumph of light over darkness during the long winter nights. The event includes torch-lighting processions using specific woods and ancient chants, maintaining a pre-Christian ritual form unique to Svaneti, though it can sometimes go awry with so many flammables in town. Mulkra River is a glacially fed river flowing through the Mulkra and Mestia areas before joining the Enguri River. It originates from the Tobavarchkhili Glacier in the Greater Caucasus and spans approximately 17 miles, playing a crucial role in local ecology and hydrology. The Chalaadi Glacier is one of the most frequently visited glaciers in the region due to its accessibility and relatively gentle incline. It stands out among regional glaciers for descending through a forested area before exposing dramatic ice formations at its terminus. In fact, it preserves old moraines and forests, confirmed by tree ring and geological research. The glacier is accessible via a forested hike from Mestia, mostly gentle terrain, for about 3.7 miles round trip, with the last section involving rocky terrain and a climb over a large boulder field. However, visitors may experience intense katabatic winds near the glacier terminus, which can make the temperature near freezing, even on warm days. Perched on a high cliff above the Enguri River, the Kala Church of St. Quiricus and Julitta is a major 11th century frescoed church located in the Kala community near the village of K. It is distinguished for its nearly complete interior frescoes painted in 1111 by Tetnuldi, a royal court artist of King David IV. The frescoes include detailed scenes of the martyrdom of Saint Quiricus and Julitta, along with key gospel events such as the Nativity, baptism, crucifixion, and resurrection. The church serves as the central site for the annual religious festival Quiricus, held every July 27th or 28th. Mount Shkhara is the highest peak in Georgia, standing at 17,037 feet, part of the Greater Caucasus mountain range. It is a major mountaineering challenge with no moderate routes, with all climbing routes rated at the highest difficulty levels. The first successful ascent was completed by a British-Swiss expedition in 1888 via the northeastern ridge, one of the more accessible routes today. The bearded vulture is infamous for its interesting diet, which 85 to 90% of it consists of bones. As one of the only birds specialised in bone consumption, its digestive system dissolves dense bone material inside 24 hours. Being able to lift bones weighing up to 8 pounds, sometimes more than its own weight, it would hunt live prey like tortoises and break their shells by dropping them. Otherwise, they would drop big bones from heights onto rocks to split and eat the marrow. Due to its unique diet and preference to live in remote mountain habitats, it virtually does not have to compete for its food. The Shkhara Glacier is a large, active glacier located on the southern slope of the mountain. It is fed by several smaller ice flows and changes shape continually through melting and refreezing, making it one of the largest glaciers in the Caucasus Mountains. The Chamois are known to be Alpine athletes, being agile enough to jump up 6 feet vertically, cover 20 feet in a single leap, and run at speeds up to 31 miles per hour to escape danger. These animals also have remarkable climbing skills, as they can ascend 3,280 feet in 15 minutes thanks to powerful hearts and specialised hooves. They are recognised for their short, backward-hooked horns present in both sexes, tawny brown summer coat, turning light grey in winter, and contrasting black and white facial marks. As herd animals, they tend to be highly skittish and alert, with one member often standing lookout when grazing. They stay ready to warn the herd of danger with a sharp whistle and hoof stamping. They usually descend to lower forested areas during harsh winters, returning to higher meadows as snow melts from May onward. The river Enguri is one of the largest rivers in the region, originating from the Shkhara Glacier. It marks a significant stretch of the frontier with Abkhazia, with its valley being both a geographic and political dividing line. The Tower of Love is a small, isolated Svan tower. defined primarily for its strong association with a local romance legend. The legend goes that a local man and woman who were in love were unable to be together as the man was already married. The man eventually meets an untimely, tragic death somehow in the river, depending on the version told. The tower was then erected for the woman to live out her days in sorrow over her lost love. The river hosts the Enguri Dam, the world's second highest concrete arch dam and the first of its kind in the former Soviet Union. It is also the deepest reservoir in the region, storing about 1.1 billion cubic metres of water, making it critical in regulating the river's flow. Supplying up to 40% of the area's electricity, it even draws up to 200,000 visitors per year for scale, views and engineering tours. However, its water and power output still vary by season, as spring melt raises levels and summer demand drives turbine flow. Carved by the river is the deep and narrow Enguri Gorge, extending through the western mountain region. The underground tunnels and pressure conduits of the Enguri hydroelectric system extend beneath the gorge, forming a vast engineering network, largely unseen but critical to power production. Additionally, the gorge's steep valleys have served as natural defence lines historically and hold medieval villages like Ushguli, known for stone towers and high-altitude settlements. The village of Ushguli is actually a cluster of 5 medieval villages, making it one of the highest continuously inhabited settlements in Europe. It is distinctly known for having over 200 well-preserved defensive stone towers, making it one of the most tower-dense settlements in the world. The village complex retains a traditional mountain lifestyle, with small populations living in stone houses connected by narrow paths. However, the tower homes often lack modern amenities, and the rugged terrain means access is limited to off-road vehicles or long hikes. Part of the Ushguli community, Chalaadi includes around 25 well-preserved towers and 2 medieval churches. It acts as a smaller settlement hub within the larger Ushguli area and displays a concentration of medieval stone architecture. The village has always been a centre for mountain shepherding, agriculture, and especially horse breeding, with local horses known for their endurance in alpine terrain. Horses raised here are adapted to tough mountain paths and have long been essential for transport and agriculture at high altitudes. The Lamaria church is a medieval Georgian Orthodox hall church dating back to the 9th or 10th century, located in the village of Zhibiani, part of the Ushguli community. It is dedicated to the Dormition of the Mother of God, locally known as Lamaria, a name that merges Christian veneration of Mary with an ancient local female deity of motherhood and fertility. The church features 2 layers of medieval frescoes, with the earliest from around the 10th century and a second layer from the 13th century, though much of the decoration has faded. The medieval fortress ruins above the villages are traditionally linked to Queen Tamar, a powerful 12th century ruler regarded as one of the most influential in the region's history. Her reign marked a golden era, and though partly legendary, the castle stands as a symbol of local identity and resilience. Acting as a natural boundary separating Eastern Europe and Western Asia, the Caucasus Mountains span Georgia's northern border. It is divided into 2 main sections, the Greater Caucasus in the north and the Lesser Caucasus in the south. The Greater Caucasus has the highest peaks, including Mount Elbrus, which is the tallest in Europe. In fact, 7 of Europe's 10 highest peaks lie in the Caucasus Mountains. The West Caucasian tur can traverse near vertical slopes with ease using powerful short legs. They conduct seasonal migrations, during which they would cover distances up to 12 miles daily between feeding and resting sites. The males grow dense, curly forehead hair in winter, giving them their distinctive spiraled look and curved, ridged horns which resemble scimitars. Their horns are prized trophies and are used locally to make traditional drinking horns called kantsi. Mount Ushba is a distinctive double summit peak in the Caucasus Mountains, known for its sharp, spire-like shape. Nicknamed the Matterhorn of the Caucasus, it is considered by many climbers as the most difficult ascent in the Caucasus. The first recorded ascent of the North Summit was in 1888 by English climbers John Garford Cochin and Ulrich Almer. Since then, more than 50 different climbing routes exist on the mountain, with the North Summit route considered the easiest, though it still requires advanced alpine skills. It has been central to the development of technical mountaineering in the region, especially during the Soviet era. The Aro deer found within the mountain are mostly solitary or live in small family groups, with males establishing territories during the July-August rutting season, marked by aggressive chases and fights. They are crepuscular and often active at night, spending daytime concealed in woods or thickets. Appearance-wise, these animals' features include small, slender bodies, reddish-brown summer coats turning greyish-brown in winter, and males have short, three-tined antlers. The rump has a pronounced cream-coloured patch that fluffs up when alarmed. They play a role in shaping woodland understory and ecosystem balance by their selective browsing habits. Sourced from Ushba Glacier, Shkhara waterfall notably has major volume and strong year-round flow. It is famously the highest waterfall in Georgia as well, with the main cascade falling between two massive rock pillars surrounded by dense fir and pine forest. The waterfall is also part of a trio of glacier-fed cascades in the region, making it important in the local ecosystem and hydrology. The remote Svan village of Mazeri is part of the Becho community, which includes several small villages clustered along the Dolra Valley. Acting as a quiet, less crowded alternative base compared to larger regional hubs, it is a key gateway for trekkers and adventurers heading to Shkhara Waterfall, Ushba Glacier, and Becho Pass. The location has maintained its traditional Svan way of life, with stone houses, local farming, and guest houses catering to visitors. An integral part of traditional mountain life in Mazeri is the act of cow herding, supporting local farming and livelihood. It is intertwined with local customs and festivals. With herding typically being a family affair, with communal efforts during moving and milking periods. Herdsmen often lead cattle along narrow mountain trails, using knowledge of terrain to avoid hazards like cliffs and fast streams. These cattle then graze on steep alpine meadows and forest clearings around Mazeri, moving seasonally to access fresh pasture and avoid deep snow. Evidently, local cheeses and dairy products made from these cows' milk are prized by villagers and visitors alike as they follow age-old recipes. A group of small alpine lakes located at around 9,000 feet above sea level, the Koruldi lakes are regarded for their clear waters that reflect the surrounding peaks such as Tetnuldi and Ushba. Though not large in size, their location on a flat mountain ridge surrounded by glaciers and rugged alpine terrain makes them a unique and popular destination for hikers and nature lovers. The lakes are best visited in late spring, summer and early autumn, as winter and spring snow cover can make access difficult. Found hopping along the rocky edges of the lake is the Alpine accentor, a small, inconspicuous bird blending into boulder-strewn slopes and grassy patches. Often seen foraging, it relies on open south-facing slopes to find food and shelter. Another animal there is the Caucasian black grouse, engaging in lecking displays in spring and early summer, producing wing-fluttering sounds while leaping and turning in the air. It feeds on a variety of plants, berries and buds throughout the seasons, and prefers areas with mixed vegetation near alpine meadows for nesting and brood rearing. Koruldi is a partly abandoned mountain village with a great legacy related to its uprising movement. During the 19th century Svan, they organised a fierce resistance against the Russian Empire, specifically the 1875 to 1876 Svaneti revolt. Unfortunately, after the rebellion, the village was destroyed, its inhabitants either terminated or deported, and the Russian government banned resettlement, resulting in its current largely uninhabited status. Tobavarchkhili Lake is a high-altitude alpine lake, part of a cluster of at least 7 lakes in the remote, wild mountain region. The area is notably devoid of fish and trees near the lake itself, featuring mostly alpine flowers and grasses. It is known locally as the Silver Lake, in the Magrelian language, associated with legends warning against disturbing its tranquility. Instead of fish, red foxes are frequently seen in the area, distinguished by their reddish coat, bushy tail with a white tip, and sharp senses for hunting small mammals and birds. Their fur even extends over the toe pads, acting similarly to snowshoes to help them move over snow without sinking. Typically, red foxes maintain territories that vary in size depending on habitat and food availability. They hunt alone but may leave scent marks or vocalizations to announce territory. These predators can even hear and smell prey beneath the snow from significant distances, enabling them to hunt effectively in winter. The European hare also inhabits the open alpine meadows and subalpine zones nearby. It is a fast, skittish herbivore, feeding on grasses, herbs and bark during harsher seasons. Regarded for its endurance and agility, the hare relies on speed and alertness to evade predators like birds of prey and foxes. Its breeding behaviour includes boxing contests during spring that are unusual and dramatic courtship displays. This is the region of Svaneti, a land of hidden wonders and remarkable architectural marvels. Now, if you don't want to miss the most unreal wonders of Nevada, check out this video.